Like, look, Mick McCarthy's a very nice man. He gives great press conferences. Last night he had the crack about the bus breaking down. Can you tell us any more? It wouldn't go any further. And it's gone viral. And you're like, all right, this is it now. We've got good press conferences to look forward to. But he's a championship manager. Like, he has always been a championship manager. And this is the football that we're going to play. We're going to be tough and difficult to beat against the better teams. And we're going to play down to the level of the bad teams. Not a million miles away from what happened under Martin O'Neill, but away from home under Martin O'Neill, we actually got really good results over the last 3 seasons.
Friday night was a really good result.
I mean...
And it was done in a manner that was far more entertaining than the really good result that was a 0-0.
It was a fine result, right? Let's not get carried away. A really good result would have been to go away from home and win. Let's actually, to be serious for a second, right?
Yeah.
He
hasn't had the opportunity. Okay, you go first.
Like, a really good result is to win games. It was a fine result, right? So let's not get carried away.
But he hasn't had that opportunity to actually go and get those really good results. You're talking about Vienna, you're talking about Cardiff.
Yeah, grand. But this is of a piece with the career that McCarthy has had, and he's fine, right? He is fine, but he's not good, and so far his teams have not played great football. They've played slightly better football than Martin O'Neill's, and look, even judging him against Martin O'Neill is the wrong thing to do, because Martin O'Neill was a Premier League manager, and if he can get us out of this group, that would be by far his greatest managerial achievement.
Really?
Absolutely, by a mile.
Not getting out of the group stages in the World Cup?
He had in the World Cup.
In the World Cup.
I mean, he had Damien Duff.
A great team. But finishing above Denmark or Switzerland, is that as like...
to get us out of the group and qualify for the tournament, right? Yeah, I would say absolutely. This team is not a shadow on the team that Cavan played on.
Sure, so you're kind of getting this to the point where we should just be accepting what happened last night, and I'm kind of going to agree with... Say he is a championship manager, and this is a championship squad. It is a predominantly championship squad, or in certain positions it is. Like, should a good championship team not be far more impressive or far more incisive against a team like Gibraltar?
Yeah.
Like, that's what my point is here. That I'm veering into the idea of agreeing with you, but
Matt Doherty. What the hell did Matt Doherty do not to be able to get into that team? He must be looking around going, that guy's ahead of me, that guy's ahead of me, that guy's ahead of me.
Well, we know what he did.
Well, we don't, because it was one of the most illogical things that's ever happened that I can remember in Irish sport. We're throwing this game out, it means nothing because of the weather conditions. It turns out we're just as bad at home. But Matt Doherty gets blamed for the entire performance. It's illogical, but he gives great press conference. Armick, so... fair play, he gets away with it.
So you're saying that Martin O'Neill is a Premier League manager, Mick McCarthy is a Championship manager, but you also contend that Mick McCarthy has got us playing better football.
So we should stop comparing everything with Martin O'Neill. We should just stop, because that era is over, and we should compare everything with the...
large swathe of the same players.
With the Mick McCarthy era and with his career. This is what we're going to get. We're going to get our team playing down to teams who are inferior to us and playing a little bit above themselves, because he's a good motivator. In games against teams who are better than us. But like, do we really have a significantly better pattern of play over the course of the 90 minutes against Denmark than we should have? Were the midfield, like, so why was Kev able to come on here and go, the midfielders weren't looking for the ball, they weren't actually going and requesting it? Why was he able to diagnose that? And why weren't they working on Matt Doherty playing football alongside Seamus Coleman for the 2 weeks when they had the opportunity to do so? Don't give me it's too short a time. Like, and is Enda Stevens definitely better at left back than Matt Doherty would be at left back? Or Seamus Coleman at left back and Matt Doherty at right back? Is that definitely a better team? I don't know. But we could have tried it last night.
I would definitely suggest that wouldn't transform the team to a point where we're killing Gibraltar last night, changing up the fullbacks. In fact, I think Enda Stevens has been one of the better players in the brief Mick McCarthy era so far.
Last night, was he?
Oh, I didn't think he was great last night.
Okay,
but I still think in the total course,
I'm not going to force you to die in the hill of Enda Stevens, but like,
Seamus Coleman was good last night.
The point is that it's not one decision; it's an accumulation of loads of decisions where you don't even bother trying to get one of your best players into the team over the last 2 weeks. By all accounts, he's been playing right back in training. We already have a right back. Maybe we'll try something else. Remember, this is a manager who frequently throughout his career has played players out of position. Ian Hart was a centre back for a little while. I'm trying to remember some of those other crazy decisions that happened at various stages under Mick, where we went 3 at the back with Roy Keane as a centre back, famously. Like, he's not averse to playing players out of their position, but except in this one instance where obviously Matt Doherty, his face doesn't fit.
Well, I just think you're overthinking it a little bit. I think Matt Doherty as a right midfielder or ahead of Seamus Coleman was the solution that clearly Mick McCarthy thought was the solution, and then just abandoned that after that weird game in Gibraltar. Like, why not stick with that is my point. I don't think we need to get into the idea that Enda Stevens or Seamus Coleman need to be jettisoned. I think you look at getting your best players on the pitch, and is Robbie Brady
the effort.
And is Robbie Brady that person who is closer to being pushed out of the starting 11 than say Seamus Coleman or Enda Stevens' form deserves? And I think that is the case.
Whatever. I mean, Brady might be our best left back. Like, he might just be our best left back, but like, how are we ever going to find that out? Is he even trying that in training? Who knows? Like, I don't know. I think we should just expect this now because this is what we have. But I say bring on the next era as soon as we possibly can.
What is your expectation then? Is it a situation where Switzerland will get a scrappy 2-1 draw in both legs?
Scrappy 1-1 draw?
2-1 win?
A scrappy 2-1. Look,
are we going to lose to Switzerland basically away and then maybe draw?
Let's wait and see who's fit. Let's wait and see what players are available and who he picks. I do think that it was positive that Hourihane got the opportunity to play where he did, and I think he's going to get better. I think he's going to get better with some Premier League football under his belt. So, it's not beyond the bounds of possibility. But I mean, how many of our strikers have scored goals?
Well, as we found out yesterday, it was 1 until we realised it was an OG yesterday, and it's clearly still 0. All the strikers in the squad as of yesterday not scoring a senior international goal.